Hi guys. Hi. Hello, happy Saturday night. It's late here. But I had this all like geared up for you guys and then I got sidetracked because I found out some news about a Bad Girls Club cast member from season 3. Really sad news. So I did a video, just a quick live earlier today to kind of talk about that. And really sad. And then I had all of this stuff for right now geared up, which I was going to do then. And now I'm going to do it now, even though it's late. So welcome, everyone. I'm glad to have you here. It's Saturday night. And yeah, I hope you are having a really good night. I have a little bit of bedhead. I just put my son to sleep. Tried to freshen my makeup up, and yeah, I got a new brush today. I got a highlighter brush. So I just tried some highlighter, by the way. I'm not totally decided if I like it. It's a little shimmery. Woo! But I got this. It's a cookie by Benefit. Anyways, and a new mascara by NARS, and I have been playing with makeup. So welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a good night. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's feeling good. So we have 3 separate things that we need to talk about. Clapping back, defecting, like i.e. moving away or leaving a system, and then 3 legal issues related to something. And you'll have to wait until the end until we get to that. So let's talk about the first thing, which was you just want, so somebody wants the new Tasha Denona highlighter. I've actually never used highlighter before. So this was my first walk into highlighting. And I'm digging it. And then before we get into that, obviously none of this is sponsored. NARS has a brand new mascara out. It's called Climax Extreme. And whoa, is it extreme. So if you want full, voluminous, good mascara. Okay, and then I tried to put on magnetic eyelashes today. I can't make those work. So I'm going to just give up on false eyelashes, you guys. And Bree says that she has ordered the Glam palette. So you will love that Glam palette, I promise. That's one of my go-tos. Today I am wearing Biba. No, I'm not. I'm wearing the 28, palette 28 by Natasha. All right. So let's talk about, first off, we got our Christmas tree today, and we went to the Christmas tree lot. We live in a very small area of town where people don't believe in certain things. So let's just say while at the Christmas tree lot, there was a lot of people running around not wearing masks. Even though we were outside, I was utterly terrified to be out. I don't go out very frequently. So we had somebody that was offering to help us and they did not have a mask on. And I actually felt like I was being, I felt like I was being a little stern, but I told them that they could not actually talk to me about anything unless they had a mask on, and then they walked away. Okay. And in return, in regards to some of those comments in the chat that I look messed up, I literally have not done anything today. So don't worry about me being messed up. If you think water and 2 sips of wine gets me messed up, let's go for a party. But yeah, I was for real. If you are drinking your wine, drinking your beer, having your cocktails right now, cheers, no shame. We're all adults. Let's have some fun. Darby, thank you so much for your super chat. Okay, So yeah, we got our Christmas tree. Thankfully, I did not interact with anyone. I literally was, while we were there, looking up the laws for masks to see if I felt like reporting people today. So again, I'm going to stay in my corner in my house and not go out and stick to my online shopping, which, by the way, online shopping has been my go-to since March. So if you have a favorite online shop that you like to shop, let me know in the comments. Tell me something that you like to buy or use. I got some stuff from Sephora today in the mail. I know when we got our Natasha Denona palettes, we ordered those online as well. I actually haven't been in a makeup store but one time since this whole pandemic started, which is weird because I used to like to go there and actually play with makeup, but now I actually have to do that. Okay, so let's go on to the clapping back. So there has been a lot of, let's say, once upon a time, there was this couple named Cody Brown and Mary Brown, and then they got divorced. So sister wives, Cody's perm and Mary, they got divorced because he wanted to marry Robin. This was the story, to be able to adopt the kids. Okay. And then there was this fallout with her catfish. And then there was this last season where Cody was basically on camera saying that he regretted marrying Mary. Like, that was the most callous thing I think I've heard someone who's supposedly supposed to be in a relationship with someone saying, like, I felt manipulated, misled, and I regret marrying this person who I actually have a daughter with. Like, who says that? What father says that to, because if you regret marrying Mary, then you would not have been a polygamist. If you regret marrying Mary, then you wouldn't have Mariah. Cody's perm, you really need to think about what you say before you say it, because words do hurt Cody's perm. Okay, so Mary Brown likes to post all these vague things on her Instagram, and today she literally went off. So check this out. She posted this on her Instagram, which was a photo of her and Cody for the first time in like a year and a half. Almost 2 years it's been since she's posted a photo of her and Cody on her Instagram. And she posted this to shut down this whole, like, they're getting divorced thing. So it says, let's just clarify something here. I love this man. I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I'll do it anyway. I'm well aware that we as a family have chosen to put ourselves out there, which in turn brings out all kinds of speculation, commentary, and opinions. But it comes down to this. My relationship with him is my relationship with him. Sure, we've had some ups and downs through the years. I mean, isn't that somewhat normal? High highs and low lows. All of which you get to see some and speculate on. And that's okay. You do you, boo. She sounds so funny saying that. But here's my truth. I love him. I love my family. I'm committed. I am 30 years in. We struggle, we communicate, we repair relationships as the parties involved are willing and able. That's the part of this that really just as the parties are willing and able. We struggle, we communicate, we repair relationships as the parties involved are willing and able. Oh my goodness. I'm an independent person who does her own thing. I travel a lot. Well, pre-COVID, that is. I have multiple businesses. No, you don't, Mary. Like, okay, you have one business. You own your, what do you call it? The bed and breakfast. But selling LuLaRoe for LuLaRoe does not make you a business owner. It literally just makes you Deanne's shill. I mean, let's be honest. And she says that, but her bed and breakfast, I'm not going to discount the hustle that she has for that bed and breakfast. So anyways, Lula Garbage says I. Okay. So I think she can support herself. And All right. So here we go. I'm an independent person who does her own thing. I travel a lot. I have multiple businesses. I have many friends. I have male friends. I have male friends. Why did she have to even say that? That's so funny. Gasp, shocker. And I won't apologize for that. I'm human. Well, she has a friend that she travels with a lot, but I'm pretty sure her friend that she travels with a lot that is a man is not interested in women. So that would be a friend that would not be I'm guessing because in her culture, maybe like having male friends is frowned upon, maybe. But I'm pretty sure that her friend that she hangs out with is gay. So from that perspective, like Cody wouldn't have to feel jealous about him because literally they're not going to hook up. I hate this about this family. Okay, back over here. I make mistakes. I rise when I'm fallen. Sometimes it takes longer than other times to rise. I will always rise. I get angry. I feel peace. I feel pain. I feel joy. I forgive. I love. I'm human. I'm here. I'm committed. Like, did she say I'm human 3 times? Okay, I said I'm human is right here. And then I'm human. Okay, I have male friends. I won't apologize. I'm human right here. I'm human, and then I'm human here. Okay. So we've got 2 I'm humans. You've got I'm human down right here. And then you've got I'm human right here. Okay, so she's human. We're very glad that she's human. And she says, I will rise, fall. I get angry. I feel peace. I feel pain. I feel joy. I forgive. I love. I'm human. I'm here. I'm committed. She said, I'm committed twice. She also said that up here. I love this man. I am, just to clarify something, I have been there for 30. I'm committed. She said, I'm committed twice too. So she's driving home the point that we are committed humans. So this is good. So she is committed to him and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I'm not going anywhere. Don't get your hopes up on that. So I'm sitting here going, okay, like, what the heck? And I'm sitting here like, can we please please settle this right now? Mary is human who is committed to another human named Cody. So that's where we're at with this. So I'm wondering what people actually feel about this clapback. Do you believe that she is, really into this? Do you think that this is trying to stop like the rumors? Do you think she's getting attention? Can we actually, all right, so okay, this is what is going on in the chat right now, you guys. I don't have any moderators here that I can see. She's fully convinced you that she's a human. And I says it's damage control. Okay, so I don't know. Perhaps she's tired of all the online opinions from everyone on her life. Maybe. This is good. Emmy says, I think it's damage control trying to stop the rumors. TLC or her publicist is having her do this for the new season, in my opinion. Oh, this is actually a good point. There's always like this sort of workup into the new season, right? So perhaps, okay, my husband's here. I don't really know. I can't decide like her motivations with this, you guys. I'm back and forth. I'm like, is she actually like doing this because she's human, or is this not? Oh, I'll put on slow mode. All right, I'm going to turn on slow mode, you guys. And with the slow mode, that means only one comment can go through every 60 seconds. So if something of yours doesn't go through, that is why we are not deleting comments there. Okay, so Pudding says, I agree, it's more hype for the show. And Scarlett says slow mode will help a lot. Okay, so I've got slow mode on. Thanks, guys, for letting me know that. Okay, I will keep open this chat. Hello, everyone. It's me. It says, hey, Katie, I just wanted to tell you that you are loved and we are rooting for you. Well, thank you so much. I am so, so glad. Is she still shilling for LLR? Correct. She is, Ashley. She is still shilling for LLR because she's human, says Bubble Buddies. All right. So let us move on to second. Okay, so let me give you my opinion here. My opinion on this is the following. That I'm going to ignore the chat right now because this is distracting me. Okay, so we're only human, and Mary is better at being with this, and Cody's perm. So I'm still not convinced that this is an all-in kind of relationship. I am definitely not convinced that this is a happy one. And no matter what she says, I feel like I don't believe this. But if she's happy, I guess that's all that matters. I just don't believe that they're happy. And that makes me sad. And I think she says, I'm not going anywhere, so don't get your hopes up on that. It almost feels like she thinks that people wanting her to leave Cody is this, like, they hate her and they want this marriage to not work. And I feel like the people that want her to leave Cody are like, Mary, you deserve more than this. They're not trying to be mean or cruel to her. They're more just trying to be like, Mary, there's so much more out for you. Like, they want to root her on, but she doesn't want to be rooted on. So we're not going to be rooting her on, I guess, for that. But I don't think it's going to stop the speculation because there's constantly these vague posts by her. And I don't think that anything that she puts out at this point will end that rumor that they've split or that there's issues in this relationship. You know what I mean? Katie is not discussing the case right now. Let's stay on topic. Correct. There will be no discussion of anything. There will be no answers to anything, and there will be no further comment. So those comments, those questions cannot be answered at this time. I appreciate if you're here and interested because of that, but tonight's topic has nothing to do with that. So thank you, Doc, for letting people know. Okay, now on to the second one, which is called defecting. Okay. So we already know that there's been some defection when it comes to the Duggars. There has been some people in here that are leaving the conservative world of the Duggar life, right? And just because there are so many people out there in the world that are rooting on Duggars and wanting them to leave the world, there is always this intrigue of what's going to happen next. Who's going to leave next? Is there going to be an expose? Well, OK Magazine puts this out. Now, take this for what it's worth. This is OK Magazine saying this, but this is what they put out. It's a new article that they published a few days, like yesterday. And it says that Jill and Jessa are revolting, and they're planning a docuseries about defying the family convention, according to a source. Now, I would not always say that like every single tabloid out there has sources, but I will say that OK Magazine is connected to Radar Online, and Radar Online throughout the years and OK have had a lot of sources that have been within the Duggar world. And so I do think that they may have something here. There's a lot of people that are willing and able. I know this for a fact. Whenever I do content on the Duggars or a new story pops up, I usually get a couple people that know the Duggars or are loosely affiliated with them or are somebody's sister's brother's friend. And there's a lot of people that are surrounding them that do want to talk. And I think there's some evidence that maybe this could happen, but I'm not sure about this totally because it does involve Jessa, and this doesn't really feel like a Jessa move, but check this out. It says they're done keeping count. An OK source claims that after Jill incurred the wrath of the family patriarch Jim Bob by quitting the clan's reality show and abandoning some of her strict religious principles, Sister Jessa boldly refused to cut her out. Now, this is true. Jessa has not cut her out at all. Jessa and her have maintained a relationship. But to be honest, I don't know who has cut her out because Josiah still has a relationship with her. She's seen Jana and James this summer. She still spends time with Joy. She also still communicates with Ginger. So I don't necessarily know that like people have been cut out or being forced to cut out. I feel like Jill has distanced herself from some of her sisters and for sure has probably cut off a lot of communication with Josh. But I don't know that I really buy this aspect of like she refused, but who knows? Jessa does show up Johnny on the spot every time there's something that Jill puts out, and she almost feels like damage control for the Duggars, but that's just me. But it says, now the source says that the two Duggar daughters, with support of their respective hubbies, Derek and Ben, are planning to take over the family brand, starting with their own docuseries. Okay, so I don't know how they're going to go around Jim Bob on this. Like, Jill already is out of the counting on stuff, but Jessa would have to, if this is true, somehow bypass Jim Bob. Now, Jessa does spend more time now on her YouTube channel, and she does upload a lot more frequently than she once did. But docuseries is like who with who? Who's going to put out the docuseries? Is it going to be through a network? Are they doing it through their YouTube channels? Is it going to be through who is going to put this out? It says it will reveal everything on how they're raising strong, independent kids to how they plan to defy family convention by adopting next. So I think this is in relation to Jessa and Ben. They have talked about wanting to adopt. And so I'm guessing the adoption aspect might be Jessa and Ben. And then they said they'll also spill details of how it was like growing up with the Duggars and all of the rules they had to live by. Jim Bob would be furious if he knew the girls were plotting. Okay, this is hilarious though. Jim Bob would be furious if he knew what they were plotting. So put it out online. Way to keep it a secret if it's a secret. I don't know. We'll see if this actually happens. I mean, if it does happen, I don't know, you guys. Do you think that this sounds like something that Jessa would do? Do you feel like, I don't know. This doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't sound like a Jessa move. Jim Bob would sue his own kids if they went up against him, in my opinion. I love what Katie said about supporting these kids as they leave. I think we should 1,000 million% support these children as they leave. We want to, for sure, support them. So we are on, in the title tonight, we had Clapping Back, which was Mary Brown. So our Mary Brown story was Clapping Back. Defecting now is the Duggars. And next, legal issues. We're going to get there in a second. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know if I believe this. I don't know. I just missed. MR says, I don't buy it. Brenda says, I hope it's true. I mean, I feel like all of us hope it's true. I mean, all of us want this to be true. Now, Dana says that I feel like if anyone, Jessica is the most dependent on Jim Bob financially. Not gonna lie, would miss counting on, would be thrilled to see everyone move on. I feel like part of me would love to see a spinoff without Jim Bob and Michelle. I will 100 million % always support these kids finding independence, finding their own way in life, finding their way in this world outside of this cult. As long as they're doing it without Jim Bob and Michelle. This past season with Jim Bob and Michelle has really bothered me, like how much they were on the show this past season. Well, if Jessa did, she and Jill, I think, would have a bigger following now than Mom and Dad Duggar. Yes, Jessa has the largest social media following, over 2.6 million, I believe, that follow her. Jill has 1.7. Mom and Dad Duggar only have around 1 million. So they have a much bigger draw just by names alone. Jim Bob is going to get a lot of gray hairs if his kids mature and go outside of the confines of a small boundary that he boxed them all into. Okay, that's Heather's opinion there. And then we've got Jill is about to really destroy the family's reputation in 2021. I feel like maybe, right? Maybe. So we'll have to sort of like marinate on that and decide whether or not we actually agree with this. I was thinking I'd love to see a Jessa, Jill, and maybe Joy-Ann spin-off. Carrie Ann says, okay, what I was thinking and who I actually enjoy. Can I just have a minute to say something? I oddly like John David. I don't know, you guys. There's something about John David because he literally paints Abby's toenails and he's like really like he pampers her and he's so supportive of her, and she wears pants. He's the only Duggar son that allows his wife to wear pants. I was like so like enamored with him, with how incredibly sweet he was during her labor and everything. I agree, Katie. He seems really sweet. Alexandria says, yes, he seems really sweet. John David cried over Josh. I was not. Yeah, and John David does not like Josh. So that makes me like John David. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always going to like the person that like doesn't like Josh. Dana says, me too. So I wouldn't mind if there was a John, David, and Abby inclusion in the spinoff. And I'm pretty impressed overall. Like, I don't know. If there was less Jim, Bob, and Michelle, I feel like it would be a way more enjoyable show. And I don't think Abby needed permission to wear anything. He knew what he was getting when he married her. No, correct. I'm just saying, like, the other husbands did not marry women that were college educated, that had jobs, that weren't dependent. You know, Abby did not need a man. She had her own life, and he knew that when he got with her, and that's why I really like him. In fact, like Lauren and Kendra and Anna, you know, these girls are all sort of following that same dependence mindset of the man being in charge. John David seems so caring for Abby and seems fine with that his wife and daughter wear it. Correct. I really just like that. I like John David and totally respect Abby's profession for being a nurse. Admirable. Exactly. Me too. Why don't talk? Just listen to the show. Oh, geez. Okay. Sorry, I did not. I thought that was about the show, Abby. Does anyone know why Abby and John live in a trailer? I believe that Abby and John they own their property without the help of Jim, Bob, and Michelle. I believe that John David has done a lot for himself and not being dependent or reliant on his father. And with that being said, has a smaller place, but I believe he actually owns the property that has the other trailers on that property. I think he's actually astute with his money. And Maria says maybe they're saving for a house. Maybe. Love that. Good for him. Okay. So defecting, we're unclear if this is true. We have all agreed that John, David, and Abby are literally our favorites. They're so cute. I never thought I would say that about a Duggar, but I really do like those two. Okay. I could not become a fundamentalist. I like to have 2 glasses of wine. Cheers. Okay. Now on to legal issues, you guys. Now this one is, I think, fantastic. So did any of you guys watch Tiger King? Raise your hands if you watch Tiger King. And if you are obsessed with animal preservation or animal humanity, humane society, making sure that, we don't keep wild cats in cages and we treat them with dignity, and we don't allow people to breed them obsessively, and we don't, put them in a situation where they're eating bologna from Walmart. Do you remember that? Yeah, straight bologna from Walmart. Okay, well, check this out because, oops. I'm going to show you something else. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. There was no sound, I guess. Sorry about that. Okay. Basically, this whole thing was passed bipartisan. I'm sorry. I'm like, dealing with some allergies right now. But it says it was the Big Cat Public Safety Act to end private ownership of dangerous big cat passes House. And it says, after months of the public loudly and clearly calling for Congress to end private big cat ownership, I'm extremely pleased that the House has now passed the Big Cat Public Safety Act. And the cool thing here is that Tiger King is ultimately what helped get this bill finally passed. So it says, Netflix, the Tiger King brought increased public attention to the dangers of unaccredited animal parks and led to a surge of support in the Big Cat Public Safety Act. The bill was endorsed by over 60 law enforcement organizations, zoos, animal sanctuaries, and the animal welfare and environmental organizations, including the Fraternal Order of Police, the National Sheriff's Association, the Humane Society of the United States, the Welfare Institute, and the International Fund for Animal Welfare and Animal Wellness Action. So basically, they say that animals like tigers, lions, leopards, and pumas should not be exposed to miserable conditions so many of them in our country currently face. By passing this, we are one step closer to ensuring these animals are treated humanely and keeping the public safe from dangerous big cats, and it's in the hope that the Senate will quickly pass this. So basically, what this will do is it will make it so you can't privately own any of these wildlife. You can't have them at roadside zoos. You can't breed them. It's trying to completely get rid of that market that the Tiger King sort of exposed, where there was the trading happening, and all of these zoos, I'll put that loosely, that are massively breeding them, transporting them on the black market, buying them, selling them. People are allowed. There are like a handful of states where you can literally have a leopard or a tiger if you want to own one, because there's no federal law. So it's going to go to the Senate. It passed bipartisan in the House, and it was a bipartisan funded bill. So both a Republican and a Democrat put this together. And really, it was about making sure that they get rid of this. The CEO of this Humane Society said, long before Tiger King, Joe Exotic, and dozens of others like him were under our scrutiny due to the abuse of tigers, both adults and cubs. While the world of the private tiger ownership thrives in the shadows with little mandatory documentation, we estimate that hundreds of tigers across the country are kept as pets and money-making props by roadside zoos, pseudo sanctuaries, and cub petting operations. They are often torn from their mothers moments after birth, hit, dragged, and forced into photo ops and live in squalid conditions. This is a public safety disaster. Congress must pass this and put an end to this cycle of misery, abuse, and danger. So basically, these tigers you can't own them. You would not be able to have any sort of, I believe this act would include stopping the interaction of cubs with humans. So human cub interactions that a lot of these zoos promote and is what causes such the massive breeding would become illegal. So it's, not often that you can say Netflix did something good for humanity, right? But it's pretty interesting that, does it say what happens to those who own them or what parks and with wildcats animals? It hasn't. I didn't see, like, when I tried to actually find more information about the bill, it was going to my email address. So this was just like from the newsroom. Let's see if I can find anything. Okay, so this is what it says. The bill revises requirements governing the trade of big cats, species of lions, tigers, jaguars, and or cougars or hybrids. Specifically, it revises restrictions on the possession and exhibiting of the big cats, including to restrict direct contact between the public and big cats. So no longer being able to have private ownership of them, and no longer for people being able to have human to cub contact, which is good because that's what has driven so much of this overbreeding of them. How much of it will steps up the illegal selling in the black market? Well, right now there's no regulations, so everything is on the black market. So there will be more enforcement, better enforcement, federal laws. So I think part of the problem with this is that there are states like Ohio that has literally no laws. And in 2011, there was a roadside guy that owned all of these exotic animals, and he just let them out. Like literally, he opened the gate and he let them go free. And it created chaos in this small town in Ohio where there was like lions and tigers and bears and jaguars and wolves just like running down the street. And they ended up having to euthanize, like, I don't even know, dozens and dozens and dozens of these animals because he just got rid of them. And these types of things happen all over the place. And, you know, this was obviously put together by, widely promoted by, and that happened in 2011. And so there's been like incidences like this all over. And unfortunately, when they tried to like dart the animals, so to make them go to sleep so they wouldn't have to euthanize them, it did not work because the animals were so like highly like, whoa, I'm free for the first time, where am I going to go? And they had too much adrenaline in them. So, and it takes a really long time for those tranquilizers to work. So it just didn't work. So they actually had to like end up euthanizing them. And the animals suffered in life, and then they suffered simply trying to be animals and being free, but they're in a place that they're not supposed to be. So I think this is good. I mean, the one thing that bothered me about the Tiger King more than anything was this lack of discussion around how terribly these animals were living, you know, like the Animal Planet actually did a couple episodes on theirs about the aftermath of the animals that Joe bred. And it's so disturbing if you watch what happened on the Animal Planet, and they talk about just the pain that these animals were living in with the way that he was breeding them, and the inbreeding, and the birth defects that they had. Some had like massive pain with their eyes because of like their eyelids not forming correctly because of the way that he was breeding them, and because they were so inbred, and, you know, not having like any sort of veterinarian care. You know, it's just, this is the kind of stuff that needs to end. So I'm glad, and I hope the Senate like literally passes this. The inbreeding was horrible. Yeah, and Carol Baskin just had an employee lose an arm. Actually, they did not lose an arm. It was nearly torn off. So Carol Baskin's in the middle of all of this. Her employee breaks protocol. And this is something I don't know if I understand too well, but I was reading about this afternoon. So she has this volunteer that's worked at the sanctuary for like 6 years. And for some reason, this volunteer breaks the protocol and sticks their hand into the cage to like lift up. Remember, like if you ever watch the Big Cats channel on YouTube, you know that they have like these little like pull-ups that like open these doors that so the cats can sort of move through, where they don't actually have to like touch the animals. And it's done so that the person doesn't have to go inside the cage. They just like lift it up. Well, apparently this volunteer, instead of doing it this way and then going around and like going to the other side, she lifted up one and then she stuck her hand in and she lifted it up and Kimba, the tiger, pulled her arm off. And not fully, but the CDC, based on that, would recommend that they put Kimba down because obviously what happened. And the employee doesn't want, or the volunteer doesn't want her to put Kimba down. And so they're not going to put Kimba down for acting like an animal. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. They're going to put him in quarantine for 30 days. They say that he's fully vaccinated. There's a very low risk that he has any form of rabies. She said that the CDC would demand that they put him down, and then she's not going to. So I understand like her wanting to like, I mean, the volunteer says it's my fault. I'm the one that made the mistake. It's my issue. I don't want you to like end the life of this tiger. It's not the animal's fault. This is true. It's not the animal's fault. This is true. It is not the animal's fault. So I guess the volunteer is good for not wanting to have the animal going down. It's very, 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 there's no reason to destroy animals. Act like animals. There's no reason to destroy the tigers. Okay. Yeah, my fear was that once they attack once, are they more likely to attack again? You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I think like a tiger is going to act like a tiger regardless. These are not tigers that are the ones like Joe's tigers that are like interacting with humans. They don't have human to tiger contact. It's the volunteer's fault, not the animal's. Sad that the animal will likely pay the consequences for the human actions. Well, Carol says that she's not going to put this tiger down. The tiger is fully vaccinated, she said, and will be in quarantine for 30 days, away from all of the other animals, away from everyone else, kind of in a timeout to decompress. So I don't know. Yes, Blackfish is about the killer whales, the orcas. In our house, we call them by species names, and they're actually called orcas. I might be wrong, but I think the article I read said that the volunteer had food in her hand. I don't know about that. I have no idea. I don't recall that, but so what do we think about this big cat legal issue? The fact that next Netflix might have actually led to potential laws getting passed. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I say good thing. I am so glad that this is happening, but it still has to go through the Senate. The Senate has a more narrow, it has to pass by 2/3, I guess. That's what Carol Baskin said. So I hope the Senate will pass it. I hope the Senate will actually do something. We're not like in some sort of lame duck thing. And then I hope that it gets signed. We're in a weird political place right now where I'm not sure what's happening. So I don't know who's doing any work right now. Depends on what news you watch to see what's happening in the world. So I pray that the bill gets passed ASAP. It's absolutely needed. If they pass it and then say Trump is like, I'm not going to sign it because I didn't win, right? So say he's not going to sign it before he leaves. If they pass it, could Biden sign it as like one of his first things? I don't know. I don't know why people want wild animals for pets. It never ends well. It does not ever end well. I don't see why it would have to pass by 2/3, just 1/50% in the presidential signature. Carol said something about they had to do a 2/3 majority for this. I didn't understand what she meant by this. Here, I'll show you.
It's Carol Baskin from Big Cat Rescue, and I have some very exciting.
Wait, hold on. You guys.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin from Big Cat Rescue.
Hold on.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin from Big Cat Rescue, and I have some very exciting news. The Big Cat Public Safety Act is going to the House floor for a vote on this Wednesday. Yes, you heard it. It's going for a vote, but it's going on the suspension calendar, which means we need 2/3 of the people there voting that day to vote for the Big Cat Public Safety Act. We have a majority in Congress, but it's going to be up to the 2/3 vote, which is a higher thing to get through. So I need everybody to go to
something about the suspension.
The higher thing to get Congress, but it's going to be up to the 2/3 vote, which is a higher thing to get through.
So for some reason, it was on some form of things. Carol Baskin. Hey, I just want to do the cool cats and kittens again.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin from Big Cat.
I want it. Oh my God.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
I need to have that sound bite. I need that sound bite. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. So she said it had to be a 2/3 majority. And she's been the one that's been lobbying for this so much. But we will have to, oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to put Kit Kat in timeout. Sorry about that, Kit Kat. All right. So Mary is in, yeah. So so what do we think about this? Are we happy about this? Do we like the cool cats and kittens? Do we want to listen to cool cats and kittens? Again, I want to hear that one more time.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Oh, I love that. All right. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. All right. So cool cats and kittens, that's what we have for tonight. I am going to just double check over here. Looks like I had Darby C and Keeping Up with KP. Thank you so much for your super chats tonight. And before you go, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up. And if you have comments, questions, or concerns, make sure you send those to me either via DM or email. And as always, there was food present. Got it. Thank you, Nurse Wildfire. I say if the animal was just doing what an animal does, you like the highlighter. Well, thank you. Cool cats and kittens. I don't know. I want to listen to it one more time. This is one more time before we go.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Okay, one more.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin from Big Cat Rescue.
Cool cats and kittens. All right, you guys. That's all I have for tonight. And the tacos tonight were amazing. My husband made chicken pineapple tacos through HelloFresh, which was super, super tasty. And I am digging. I know some people don't like. I just think it's funny how she says, "Hey, all you cool cats and kittens." And anyways, tell me what your thoughts are about everything. Make sure before we go, you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I really don't care at this point. And the tacos did kick butt. Thank you, Mr. Crystal. My balls are made of crystal. Thank you so much for being the best husband ever. Bye, guys.